Oh Lord. Yep, back again in the R8. Yes, I know. The car ain't for me, but I just don't want to give up on her. I feel like there is something to be had with this car, and I'm gonna try and figure it out. Yeah, so here on Paul Ricard, this is a different version to the one I tried a couple of weeks ago, maybe like over a month ago. I did a race at a different version, and I definitely prefer this one. This one, the curbs feel a bit more realistic, just in their placement and shape. Also, the elevation changes feel a little bit more natural, a little bit more realistic again from the onboard footage I've seen, in IRL, obviously Blancpain, and F1, all that sort of stuff. So like here, like in the other version, this up and down, it goes quite up and down, whereas here it seems quite flat. There is a raise, but it's not huge. So yeah, I do like it. Definitely recommend it. Links in the description if you guys want to download it. So yeah, driving this car around this track, I had a race yesterday. Unfortunately, spun out the car a couple times, which then just burnt out my left rear, and I kind of spent the rest of the race sort of trying to manage that while trying to keep decent pace, but it wasn't very good. So one change I have made after looking back at the Motec data, because obviously I'm a super nerd now. I was a kind of like a small, just a small KOK nerd before. Now I'm a Super Saiyan 4 nerd. But yeah, so the Motec data was showing me, yeah, obviously like the tyre wear and my rears were just horrendous. I don't think it helped that I went to 4-wing. I thought I'd be a bit cheeky and go to 4-wing. Nah, I should have done 5, because this 5 is just much easier to be more consistent with the car. So, but yeah, anyway, I'll let you guys watch these laps and I'll talk to you afterwards. So yeah, there those laps. My best one out of obviously that was a 50. What was it? A 55.4. So not too bad. I feel like I was able to stay within the 55s for, I'd probably say one more lap. I think maybe two if I'm like really careful and had a high skill level. I'd say. Um, yeah, it was like this again. The car, I've got to set the car up to be kind of understeery, but at the beginning, because that then makes it a little bit easier to deal with towards the end of the race. Like once the tires start to lose their grip, the way this car's set up, it like I said, I went to four wing. Unfortunately, I don't think it really. I mean, I could do four wing, but at the same time, you have to be really careful with the car, and I found that with the four wing, even though I could do a quick lap, like say a 55.3, 55.2, I wouldn't be able to keep that sort of standard up. Like I would have to, like eventually I'd only do like maybe 155, maybe two, and then the rest would just be 56s. I couldn't like keep doing it again. Same thing was with wing X6 as well. I've got more downforce, so I could be a bit more aggressive, but the way my car's set up here, I felt like I had to be a bit too aggressive to get the car to rotate. I'm sure I could have done a few more things just to help the car move, but because I'm being so aggressive in turning the car, I feel like I'm probably overusing the tyres again. And the setup I got here that I'm sharing is just obviously the middle ground was 5 wing. 5 wing allowed me to have that, not as much downforce in the rear, which allowed the car to rotate just that little bit easier. But it wasn't. But at the same time, I still needed to be careful while putting in my steering inputs or whatever, even the throttle as well, which allows you to not overuse the tires too much, which then allowed me to do like 3, 4 55s in a row before going into the 56s. Whereas before, with a wing at 6 or 4, I'll just be like maybe 155, and then it'll just be 56s or maybe 255. But that's just the way it was. Top end speed with this car, it's just not its strong point. Like it's decent, but it's nothing special. It's in the corners, but I just don't like the way this car, the tyre wear, it's just you've just got to be so anal. Like really, you've got to be really accurate with your steering input, with not just with the wheel but with your foot, because you're turning the car with your feet as well. So usually, like with the Porsche, you can kind of just hammer down on it, because the Porsche is just so planted. With this one, it's got to be a gradual 20, 30, 50, 70. Like you've got to be pressing it at the right times to keep the car rotating at whatever sort of speed you need it to. Press it a bit too hard, the car will rotate more, but you're just losing the rear more, and you're putting too much strain with the rear tires. So it's definitely something to watch out for. So it's definitely a difficult car, and I'm pretty soon I'm gonna start probably moving. I'll probably move over to the I say move over, try out some races with the Porsche, because I haven't raced that car in a while and I did like it. I think that out of all the cars probably suits my driving style a lot better, because I could just be a bit more aggressive with it. But with this one, you've got to be very delicate, very on the nose, very sort of like car for those people that are very twitchy. They like to turn in, but very careful on the turn in. Very smooth. I'm way too aggressive with my turn in, so for this sort of car. But again, like I said, driving it is actually pretty decent, because it just forces me to learn how to do that. Even though I'm not the best at it, it's good to have that in your arsenal. Obviously, I briefly mentioned that I'm using Motec as well. Well, I tried using it. Like it's obviously extremely complicated. I'm a huge noob, but at the same time, there are so many things in it that are just amazing to just sort of like look at and study. Just studying the behaviour of the car, looking at the tyres. There's very basic information that I'm gaining from it, but it's pretty good. Like say like the braking, braking tape or whatever it is, knowing how much to use there precisely, because I know how hot my tyres are getting, or I can watch how hot my tyres are getting on certain braking points when I'm looking up the wheels or when it's spinning, just seeing what's going on. It's really cool. I think there was some sort of setup guide where it read if you're braking and the temperature goes below 300 degrees before the next corner, your next braking point, then you need to increase it, and if it goes hotter than 600, then decrease it when you're braking. So obviously, I think I did it at 66, That was the middle point, because like, but really it was getting cool, because like this bloody long straight, it cools down all the way to like 150 that the brakes were, but then it will get as hot as say 600, 700. That was pretty much the the compromise, but it was, well, it's decent. It works well. Then you've got the tires. I'm able to see like the inside, outside, center of the tire to see what's getting hotter at which points, and then I can adjust the tire pressures to make sure that, you know, each tire is getting the most contact patch with the car, because I'll start to notice that the outside tire is getting a bit hotter than the center, which I don't think is getting the most. Yeah, that doesn't allow you to have the most contact patch and most grip. So it's really cool, man, really cool. Still don't understand loads of all those squiggly lines, but it's actually quite fun to figure it all out. So I'll definitely highly recommend it for people, even for just like casual racers like me. But yeah, man, anyway, I will shoot off. That's enough of me babbling on. Thanks for watching. Sorry the video was so long, but you know me, I love hearing myself talk. But anyway, I'll catch you guys later.